What's up, you guys? My name is Lauren, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the Michelle Carter Conrad Roy case. Now, this is a very interesting case that involves a lot of text messages and social media, but it is very interesting, so I wanted to discuss this in further detail. So let's start off in the beginning. Conrad Roy, he was 18 at the time of his death, and he died by committing suicide in his own truck. He did this by taking a generator and connecting a hose and pumping carbon monoxide into his truck, and that eventually led to his death. At the time, he was believed, according to Michelle, to be dating Michelle for a couple years at this point. Now, they met by coincidence while both visiting relatives in Florida, and it was a happy coincidence at the time because they only lived about 35 miles apart, and they kept this long-distance texting and phone relationship for years despite only seeing each other a handful of times. Now, on July 12th of 2014, Conrad was feeling very depressed and anxious and again threatened to commit suicide. He had a history of this in the past. He had prior suicide attempts, and Michelle basically urged him to do it, which I can't even imagine ever doing that to anyone, especially someone that you're supposed to love. But she was on the phone with Conrad while he was committing suicide. She said allegedly she heard him in pain, that she heard him freaking out and crying. And at one point, Conrad got out of his truck because he was scared it was working, which it was, and Michelle told him to get the fuck back in the truck, pushing him to kill himself and end his life forever. It is believed that Michelle did this for her own attentions. Basically, she wanted the attention of having a boyfriend that committed suicide. She wanted the sympathy. She wanted the fame. And it's a really sick and twisted story. But it wasn't just this one incident where she encouraged him to commit suicide. There is a string of text messages she sent to Conrad, just pushing him to commit suicide to the point where he actually did. You're so hesitant because you keep overthinking it and keep pushing it off. You just need to do it, Conrad. The more you push it off, the more it will eat at you. You are ready and prepared. You will be free and happy. No more pushing it off. No more waiting. Not Conrad. Last night was it. You kept pushing it off and you'll say you'll do it, but you never do. It's always going to be that way if you don't take action. You're just making it harder on yourself by pushing it off. You just have to do it. Do you want to do it now? I just don't know what anybody... I don't know anyone that could possibly go through pushing someone to that point, encouraging them, telling them it's okay to commit suicide instead of offering them help. The fact that she got so selfish, that she wanted the attention, that she was okay with him committing suicide is just disgusting to me. I just don't know. And I feel like she has no sympathy for any of Conrad's family members, Conrad himself, any of his friends. It's just a really sad case. Now, she is currently on trial for involuntary manslaughter. In my personal opinion, I feel like she belongs there. I feel like she was old enough at 17, almost 18, to know the consequences of pushing someone to commit suicide. And I feel like she had the right mental capacity to know that her pushing was eventually going to lead to something. I also feel like she had the power to stop this. She said in her own text messages, told her friends that she had the power to stop this, and she knew she had the power and she chose not to use it. So I just honestly can't wrap my mind around like being in that situation and why anybody would ever push anyone to commit suicide. Currently, they are still in trial. The defense has just rested their case. We should hear a verdict in a couple of days. So I'm going to report back on this, hopefully when the verdict comes out. I'm hoping that it will swing in Conrad's favor. I feel like he needs justice. and I feel like Michelle needs to pay the price for her crimes. So this is where I'm going to end the video. If you like this type of content, feel free to subscribe to my channel. So I hope you enjoy. Have a great day. Bye-bye.